Somewhere in a galaxy not so far away, Spider-Man is doing the worm dance next to Darth Vader while Iron Man shoots a laser at a banana wearing sunglasses. No, this isn't a fever dream. It's just another day in Fortnite, the chaotic, creative, and culturally loaded juggernaut of modern gaming. In 2025, Fortnite has reached a level of crossover synergy once thought impossible. Marvel superheroes soar through the skies. Star Wars Sith Lords ignite their lightsabers. Anime legends, horror icons, hip-hop stars, and video game legends all exist in the same brightly colored, hyperactive universe. But at the center of it all, one question pulses louder than the Victory Royale fanfare. Has Fortnite finally gone too far? Or has it achieved something truly extraordinary? Fortnite began as a relatively straightforward battle royale game, riding the coattails of a popular genre with its own twist. Building mechanics, cartoonish graphics, and seasonal updates. But what made it explode into a cultural phenomenon wasn't just the gameplay, it was the marketing, the brand partnerships, the community engagement, and, above all, the crossovers. In 2020, players were already seeing the seeds of the now iconic Marvel collaborations. Skins like Black Widow and Captain America turned heads, but it was the full Marvel season, complete with a Galactus event and a playable Iron Man suit, that proved Fortnite wasn't playing by conventional rules anymore. The game was becoming a multiverse, not in theory, but in practice. Enter Star Wars. Lightsabers, stormtrooper outfits, the Mandalorian's rifles slung across your back as you hunted bounty contracts. It was more than a skin pack. It was immersion. Players didn't just look like Jedi. They could wield the Force, fly TIE fighters, and partake in in-game missions that felt like episodes of a show. When Fortnite hosted a live event where Emperor Palpatine's message was first broadcast, tying into the rise of Skywalker, it wasn't just a crossover, it was a canonical moment in Star Wars lore. Yes, Fortnite was officially a part of the galaxy far, far away. So here we are in 2025, where the latest season doesn't just include Marvel and Star Wars, it combines them. A narrative event where Loki allies with General Hux. Quests that involve retrieving Beskar armor fragments and PIM particles in the same mission. A battle pass that lets players unlock Moon Knight, Ahsoka Tano, Wolverine, and a new Darkseid Kyber crystal emote. This is no longer novelty. This is Fortnite's identity. But for every player thrilled at the prospect of Captain America riding a speeder bike while tailed by Darth Maul, there's another asking, has this gone too far? The answer depends on how you define too much. If you're looking at Fortnite as a traditional video game, one focused on tight mechanics, grounded narratives, and artistic cohesion, it's easy to say yes. The sheer amount of intellectual property crammed into the game can feel overwhelming. There's no real consistency. One moment, you're building a base with Kratos, and the next you're swinging through trees as Miles Morales. Some players feel the magic is diluted when everything is included all at once. Without boundaries, does anything truly stand out? However, Fortnite was never meant to be traditional. Epic Games didn't just create a game. They created a platform, a metaverse playground where pop culture is the playground equipment. It's not about immersion in a single universe. It's about embracing the absurd joy of multiple realities colliding. In that context, the Marvel x Star Wars x Fortnite fusion is not too much. It's the ultimate realization of the game's philosophy. There's also the sheer business brilliance behind these crossovers. Marvel and Star Wars are two of the most beloved, bankable franchises in entertainment history. Their inclusion doesn't just bring in casual players. It pulls in fans who might never have touched a battle royale game otherwise. With each new collaboration, Epic Games taps into an entirely new audience. When Luke Skywalker lands in the item shop, Star Wars fans log in. When Scarlet Witch gets her own skin, Marvel devotees follow. The game becomes a gateway, not just to battle royale, but to social gaming, brand loyalty, and digital self-expression. But there are concerns that go beyond sensory overload. Cultural critics, and even loyal fans worry about what this convergence means for the concept of identity and story. In 2025, with digital personas becoming more prominent than ever, does the merging of these iconic characters into a singular sandbox flatten their uniqueness? When every character can dab, floss, or get rickrolled, do they lose their essence? Darth Vader is meant to be a symbol of fear and tragedy, not a punchline. But when he's dancing next to Travis Scott, that symbolism shifts. For some, this is a violation of sacred narrative. For others, it's a reimagining that makes these characters feel more human and accessible. Yet, perhaps the most compelling aspect of this mega crossover is how it empowers players to build their own stories. In a traditional Star Wars film, you're told a story. In Fortnite, you live it. You create your own headcanon alliances and rivalries. Maybe Wolverine and Luke Skywalker team up in your world. Maybe Darth Vader is defeated not by a Skywalker, but by Ariana Grande wielding Thor's hammer. In Fortnite, imagination is the rule, not the exception. And for a generation raised on TikTok edits, alternate universes, and fan fiction, this level of creative freedom isn't confusing, it's exhilarating. Epic Games has also mastered the art of event storytelling. It's not just skins, they craft experiences. Marvel's Galactus event felt like an interactive blockbuster. The Zero Crisis finale had players traversing realities. In 2024's Dawn of the Empire season, players saw the Marvel and Star Wars universes collide in a cinematic showdown featuring a Nexus rift gone wrong. Players weren't just observers, they were participants. They had agency, impact, and presence in the story. That level of interactivity is something no passive media can replicate. And let's not forget the artistic achievement in making this all function. The sheer logistics of blending these IPs, different art styles, power levels, lore, and tone requires Herculean coordination. Somehow, Epic makes it work. They preserve enough of each character's identity to feel authentic, while bending them just enough to fit Fortnite's cartoonish reality. It's a delicate dance of respect and reinterpretation. Still, not all fans are sold. There's a contingent of purists who yearn for the days when Fortnite felt like its own thing. When original characters like Jonesy, Healy, and Ramirez were the stars of the show. These players argue that the game has become too reliant on outside IPs. That the soul of Fortnite, its lore, its creativity, its uniqueness, is being overshadowed by corporate synergy. They miss the mystery of discovering original characters with cryptic backstories, rather than unlocking yet another cinematic superhero. But even that criticism may not hold water forever. In recent years, Epic has started blending its original lore with the crossover content in increasingly clever ways. Characters like the Foundation played by Dwayne Johnson or the Ageless Champion coexist alongside Iron Man and Rey Skywalker in a way that feels surprisingly organic. In some cases, Fortnite's original universe even enhances these crossovers by placing them in new narrative contexts. The island is no longer just a battleground, it's a narrative nexus. And every character who arrives becomes part of that evolving mythology. What we're witnessing in 2025 isn't the death of identity, it's the birth of a new kind of storytelling. One that's collaborative, fluid, and radically inclusive. The Fortnite multiverse doesn't erase the past. It recontextualizes it. It gives fans the tools to honor the stories they love while remixing them into something personal. This is the future of fandom, not passive consumption, but active participation. So is Fortnite x Marvel x Star Wars too much? Or is it perfect? The answer, paradoxically, is both. It's too much if you're expecting a coherent, grounded universe with strict rules. It's perfect if you understand Fortnite for what it really is, a canvas, a toy box, a stage. It's an ever-evolving celebration of culture where the only limit is imagination. It's messy, chaotic, and sometimes absurd, but it's also thrilling, joyous, and wildly democratic. In the end, maybe the better question is, why not both? Why not let the Force meet the multiverse in a game that doesn't care about boundaries? Why not dance with Darth Vader while wielding Mjolnir? Why not embrace the chaos? Because in the world of Fortnite, chaos is creativity. And creativity, when given infinite fuel, becomes magic.